Do you know what time it is? It is time to swap insurance and take the car out for a test drive.
If you can initial this spot, sign and sign.
Alright. Cheap initial. Just got the insurance swapped, so I'm gonna park the Escape and take out the Mustang for the test drive. Insurance check, fire extinguisher check, good to go. Just about to get on a highway. I wanted to pull off and check under the hood, see if there's nothing melted yet. There is nothing to be concerned on this side. However, on this side I do have this coolant hose, which is kind of close to the manifold, but it is heat wrapped and it's not touching the manifold. So as long as it doesn't touch, I think it should be okay. And then there is also this coolant line, which actually quite good spaced out. So I think we're good. We got no coolant leaks, nothing melted. Should be good to get on the highway. I've arrived at the office and I think I've discovered a leak. A coolant leak. That's a pretty big water leak. I think I finished welding just in time. Everyone's packing up. Gotta install it in before everyone leaves. Puddle of oil where I was parked. Can still have good oil pressure though. Gonna pull over and check for oil leaks. It got removed. That's awesome. Alright, let's park here in the shade. Let's investigate oil leaks. Okay, doesn't leak too bad, I guess. Oh shit. Okay, didn't record much. There was a lot of oil here coming out of the turbo. And yeah, a lot of here oil as well. I just wiped it all off. I think it was because I had caps on here. Geez, hopefully turbos are not blown. It is not easy to check your oil level on these engines. I did not dip the dipstick all the way, but you can see there's oil splattered everywhere, and it almost looks like I overfilled the engine because that, well, actually overfilled would be if both holes had oil, but I didn't dip it all the way, and that one already has oil in that hole. And now I'm gonna dip it all the way, and see there's oil everywhere, but that hole does not have oil, so that means it's not overfilled. And it's like, look at this, and it's full of oil, but you can't tell where the oil level is. That's because the valve had drain port. The dipstick goes through the head drain port. I think you meant to check the oil level only when engine has been sitting for a while, and not after it has been ran for a short while. Okay, anyway, I'm gonna cautiously drive home, and hopefully my car doesn't start on fire. Bus is gonna run me off the road. Got home from Costco, still have oil pressure. Man, I'm glad I have this oil pressure gauge. Otherwise I'll be very paranoid driving it. Actually, I'm still paranoid driving it. Okay, I'm gonna check under the hood how much of a mess I made. Just got this air filter in the mail. Wanted to test it out, how it fits between a turbo and the AC compressor. Well, this is the smallest filter I could find on eBay, and it does not fit the I don't know, what was I thinking. There's nothing that can go in there. I need to route it. I can't have a filter straight on the turbo. I'm gonna have to have some kind of piping going up, maybe like up to here or something. Yeah, or up to there. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, this is not gonna be simple. Might just like run a turbo guard for a while. Also, yesterday at work I've discovered an oil leak. The turbo has been spitting out a lot of oil, and I parked right in front of the door, the first, basically the first parking lot next to the door. So I want to get there before anyone else sees it. There's the oil stain that I left. I better cover it up. Arrived at work. There's not that much oil came out this time. Hopefully it's just what's left over from before. Or it could be that oil's a lot thinner, but no. How low do you let your oil life get before you do an oil change? Today I'm gonna do an oil change, and I'm thinking to up my oil viscosity from 5W20 up to 5W30. I decided to up the oil viscosity because I do have turbos installed, and the turbos are basically oil cooled. So it would be better to have higher viscosity oil for the higher temperature. Good thing I have oil pressure gauge here, as that's something I can watch and see if it made any difference. It used to be that I would idle around 13 psi when a car is warmed up and hot, and I don't know, when I'm driving it would be close to between like around 30 psi, because I drive at really low RPMs on a highway. It will be interesting to see what kind of oil pressures I'll get with higher viscosity oils. Once again, do I think that I'm smarter than Ford engineers and then changing my oil grade to something that this engine is not recommended to have from factory? Well, no. Actually, what I did research is that EcoBoost engines do have recommended oil that goes up to 5W30. It's only the non-turbo engines are recommended to have 5W20, and that's why I think it might be a good idea to do what EcoBoosts do and not what the NA engines do. And I'm referring to the V6 EcoBoosts, not the inline 4. I'm not sure what those recommend. I prefer to buy Mobil 1 high mileage oil, and also prefer to buy at Canadian Tire, but I think they don't have it on sale today, so just checking the price here, then I'm gonna go to Walmart. Arrived at Walmart. So this oil was on sale at Walmart, much cheaper than Canadian Tire. So this is the oil pressure I get at operating temperature of the oil once it's fully warmed up, and so that's at idle. That's about 13 psi. At 1000 RPM, I think I should be getting about 30 psi, I think, while driving. And then at Jesus, still crying. Yeah, and at 2000 RPM, I think I was getting close to 60 psi. And yeah, we'll see if there is a difference from changing the viscosity from 5W20 up to 5W30. Exactly the same oil. While doing the oil change, I was also investigating for the leaks, and I think I found one. At least one. So this is coolant leaking, and it's leaking on top of the starter. From behind there is a there is a fitting between the turbo and the block, and I think it's either the hose clamp or the fitting itself, and either one of them is almost impossible to get to. I've stacked a bunch of extensions and gonna try to reach it. Eventually was able to get it in there, tighten it. It stopped leaking, but also maybe it did stop leaking because it cooled down. There's not much pressure in here, so that's why it's not gonna leak. So gonna warm it up and see if it leaks again. And yeah, finish the oil change. It is the next day. Just checking for coolant leaks after I left the car warmed up. And I can't really tell if there are or if there aren't. Maybe the car didn't get hot enough. But oh well. For now, would you look at that symmetry of the exhaust? Isn't that dope? So cool. Alright, gotta drop the car and then gonna go recycling center. Recycle the oil. So I have been driving the car for a while now with 5W30 oil. It is fully warmed up now. Well, actually I don't really know what the oil temperature is like. And I just drove home from work. And yeah, so oil pressure did not change. It did not go up. I think maybe even it went, I've seen it lower. I've seen it lower close to like 10 psi. It could be because my car is getting older, or it could be because there are oil lines running to the turbos, so there's extra flow required for the turbos, so the oil pressure is getting lost through there. Maybe, I'm not really sure how well the oil pump regulates the pressure, but yeah, so no differences. And I guess that will be the end of the test drive wrap it up video. I'll do video next on the maybe intercooler pipe and the charge pipes. So thank you for watching and see you in the next one.